Nation, it's your boy Jonathan, and you know what never ceases to amaze me? How much things change. It's like everything is constantly changing, and yes, I know life is changed. The only consistent thing in this whole world is change. Yes, I'm aware. But still, sometimes it can be just a little bit annoying. Now, when I was younger, just a wee little lad, the world was a much different place. People who, like me, liked comics and TV shows and movies, and not just like TV shows and movies, but obsessed over TV shows and movies. We weren't liked. We were mocked and made fun of and looked down on for these obsessions, and now it's like a national obsession where everybody loves comic books, TVs, movies. Hell, Comic-Con International is like the biggest event in the fucking world. That was not the way it was when I was a kid. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't that a good thing, Jonathan? And yes, that is how I think everyone in my audience sounds. Even you. No, not them. You. You're right there. You listening, watching. You. That's how you sound. But anyways, I digress. Isn't it a good thing? No, it's not. Mainly because of conversations like this. Did you guys see the new Spider-Man? That shit was badass, man! Nah, that movie was bullshit, man. Too much high school, not enough action. Hell yeah. Spider-Man's not like that at all. He's more, what's that word I'm looking for? Broody. Yes, he's broody. That's why Andrew Garfield was such a piss-poor Spider-Man. He was trying too hard to be funny, and that's just not Spidey. What? What do you mean Spider-Man's not funny? That's kind of his thing. He makes puns. He's kind of the reason people think superheroes make puns. Nah, man, that's Deadpool. Deadpool's punny. Spider-Man is broody. He's dark, kind of like Batman, you know? No, he's not. And Andrew Garfield was an amazing Spider-Man. No, that's a pun. He just didn't capture the nerdy side of Peter Parker well. But I mean, the problem with those movies, mainly the second one, wasn't even him. It was the fact that Sony was just trying to cram so much into it. It's the same problem Spider-Man 3 had. What? Fuck you, man. Venom was badass. That wasn't Venom. That was just a lamer version of Spider-Man that they called Venom. It was an abomination to the character. Okay, fanboy. That still doesn't change the fact that the new movie was way too fucking high school-y. I mean, it wasn't a comic book movie at all. Right, because the Spider-Man comic never dealt with high school or his personal life at all. Not even once. Except that it did. All the time. Spider-Man, and to a much larger extent, X-Men, were nothing more than soap operas that dealt with personal life and all the drama in their life with superheroics as a backdrop for it. That's what those comics were about. That's why people love them. Like, besides, this movie was essentially a John Hughes movie. And who doesn't love John Hughes? I mean, hell, this movie even paid tribute to Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How could you not love it? Because it wasn't like the comics at all? I mean, shit, you claim to be a comic book fan. You think you would know that. What? Let's see. Spider-Man has something he wants to do in his personal life. Usually involving either his Aunt May or a girl. And being Spider-Man gets in the way. He tries to manage to do both, and just ends up pissing everybody in his personal life off and pushing them away. Sounds like every single issue of Spider-Man that Stan Lee ever wrote, and who would know Spider-Man better than Stan Lee? Kirby. What's Kirby's first name? He doesn't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that. Yeah! Jack the King Kirby. And according to some reports, he may have helped with the design, but the name you're actually looking for is Steve Ditko. I mean, if you're gonna shit on one man's legacy, at least get the names right. Will you listen to him? Such bullshit. Fanboy looking ass. He's probably a prequel apologist. Right? He's probably one of the only people who doesn't think taking George Lucas away from Star Wars was the best thing that ever happened to the franchise. Right? I mean, all the movies he worked on sucked. He didn't bring anything to the series at all. Are you serious? He created it. Without him, Star Wars would be nothing. Literally nothing. Bullshit. Oh, please, man. The prequel sucked so bad. You know, he also did A New Hope, right? And kind of came up with the concept for the whole thing. And I'll grant you, as a kid, the prequels didn't really gel with me either. But as I got older and could actually understand them intellectually for what they were, I learned to appreciate them. They're actually really good movies. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Bullshit. He almost killed the franchise. If it wasn't for JJ coming in and saving it, it would have died a slow, painful death. Oh. as opposed to stealing the plot from A New Hope. You know, one of the films that George Lucas directed, but I mean facts, right? Who needs facts? Oh, and he also stole half that plot from Legacy of the Force, you know, a series from the EU, or Legends as they call it now, that they tossed out for what reason again? Oh, right, creative freedom. Because creative freedom is throwing something out and then stealing the plot of it to reuse in your garbage movie. Yeah, but why was I surprised? I mean, he did the same thing with Into Darkness. You just hate everything, man. Man, you swear you know everything. He's just a hater, man. Hates both Star Trek and Star Wars. You ain't a real nerd. And Spider-Man. For real, you know what? You're just not a fan. Not a fan? Not a fan? Why? Because I actually like the stuff that I like and don't just buy into the hype that I'm told to buy into? How does that make any fucking sense? It doesn't. I'm sorry. When I was a kid, the stuff that I liked was far and few between. So knowledge about the information was respected. It was like, oh, you like that shit too? And even if we disagreed about what we liked more or how we liked it or whatever, there was a common, it's us against the world mentality. Now everybody claims to like this shit, but they don't. They like what they see on TV or in movies and they think that's true. And they spout that knowledge as if it's the be-all end-all, and then look down on people who actually like the material that it's based off of. So it's like, we're still nerds, we're still castrated from the rest of the world, but now we can't even be like, oh, this is our thing, because the rest of the world takes our thing and says, oh, you don't understand it, even though, you know, you like the actual thing that it's based off of. You're over there, go, shoot. You don't matter. It's just like, what the fuck? But that's just my pet peeve. Let me know yours in the comments below, unless it's me. Please don't let it be me. Why can't you just love me? Anyways, if you do love me, hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, give us legends.